Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. Today, we've got some massive news that's sending shockwaves through Cowboys Nation, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Only a small percentage of viewers are subscribed, and it really helps support the channel. Now, let's get into this bombshell story that's got everyone talking. The Dallas Cowboys might be on the verge of making a move that could reshape their offense and potentially their entire season. Sources close to the team have indicated that America's team is seriously considering bringing back their former star running back Ezekiel Elliott to help strengthen their offensive arsenal alongside Dak Prescott. And let me tell you, this isn't just your regular NFL rumor. There's some serious substance behind this one. Now, for those who might need a quick refresher, Zeke Elliott wasn't just any running back in Dallas. He was the Cowboys' fourth overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, and for years, he was the heart and soul of their running game. During his 7 seasons with Dallas, he racked up over 8,000 rushing yards, 68 touchdowns, and made the Pro Bowl 3 times. We're talking about a guy who led the league in rushing yards per game in both 2016 and 2017. Those aren't just good numbers, those are elite numbers that help define an era of Cowboys football. But here's where things get interesting. After the Cowboys released Elliott in March 2023, he signed with the New England Patriots, where he spent the 2023 season. While his numbers weren't what they used to be, 642 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in 17 games, there's more to this story than just statistics. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you might change your entire perspective on this potential move. Let's break down why this potential move makes so much sense for both parties. First, look at the Cowboys' current running game situation. Tony Pollard departed for the Tennessee Titans in free agency, leaving them with Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis as their primary backs. While both have shown flashes of potential, neither has proven they can be a true RB1 in this league. That's not a knock on them, it's just the reality of the situation. Second, we're talking about someone who knows this offense inside and out. Elliott spent years working with Dak Prescott, and that chemistry doesn't just disappear overnight. In fact, during their time together, the Cowboys had one of the most efficient red zone offenses in the NFL. The numbers don't lie. They were converting over 60% of their red zone opportunities into touchdowns during their peak years together. But here's what really makes this story fascinating. Multiple sources have reported that Dak Prescott himself has been advocating for this reunion. Think about that for a second. When your franchise quarterback, who's coming off one of his best seasons, specifically asks for a player that carries some serious weight, Prescott and Elliott's connection goes beyond just being former teammates. They came into the league together, grew together, and achieved success together. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but isn't Zeke washed up? Isn't this just nostalgia talking? Well, let me hit you with some facts that might change your mind. During his time with the Patriots, Elliott actually showed impressive efficiency in specific situations. His pass blocking grade remained elite, and he converted 75% of his third and short situations. These are exactly the kind of situations where the Cowboys struggled last season. Speaking of struggles, let's talk about the Cowboys' red zone efficiency last year. They converted just 52% of their red zone opportunities into touchdowns. That's not just disappointing, it's potentially the difference between making a deep playoff run and watching the Super Bowl from home. Elliott, even in his time with the Patriots, showed he still has that nose for the end zone, especially in short yardage situations. And let's talk about the X factor here, Mike McCarthy's offense. The Cowboys head coach has always preferred a power running game to complement his passing attack, and that's exactly what Elliott brings to the table. We're not talking about making him a 25 carry per game back anymore. We're talking about a strategic weapon in specific situations. McCarthy's offense thrives on versatility, and Elliott brings that in spades. The financial aspect also makes this potential move intriguing. The Cowboys have some cap space to work with, and Elliott would likely command a much more reasonable salary than he did in his prime. This could be a low-risk, high-reward situation for Dallas. Plus, given Elliott's history with the team, there's a good chance he'd be willing to work with them on the numbers to make this happen. But here's the most compelling part of this story: the timing. The Cowboys are clearly in win-now mode. They've got a defense that's ready to compete for a championship, and Dak Prescott is playing some of the best football of his career. Adding a veteran presence like Elliott could be that final piece they need to make a serious Super Bowl push. And let's be honest, the NFC East isn't getting any easier. Every edge matters. Now, several other teams have reportedly shown interest in Elliott, including some serious contenders. But the emotional connection to Dallas, combined with the opportunity to compete for a championship, might just make this the perfect landing spot. Think about it: returning to the team that drafted you, playing alongside your former rookie teammate, and having a chance to write the perfect ending to your Cowboy story. That's the kind of narrative that could make this reunion special. I've spent hours breaking down film from Elliott's time with the Patriots, and what I've seen is interesting. While he might not have the same breakaway speed he once had, his vision and power running style are still very much intact. In fact, his patience in finding holes might even be better now than it was in his earlier years. It's like watching a veteran boxer who's replaced raw power with technique and timing. The Cowboys also struggled in short yardage situations last season, converting just 65% of their third and short attempts. That's another area where Elliott's experience and power running style could prove invaluable. Remember, this is a guy who built his career on being reliable in crucial situations. That kind of clutch factor doesn't just disappear. What's particularly interesting about this potential move is how it could affect the Cowboys' offensive dynamic. Last season, teams started to figure out their tendencies, especially in critical situations. Adding Elliott to the mix would give them another layer of unpredictability. Imagine being a defensive coordinator trying to guess whether they're going to use Elliott's power running, Dak's arm, or mix both in a play-action situation. That's the kind of headache that can keep opposing coaches up at night. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining whether this reunion becomes a reality. But one thing's for sure: if Elliott does return to Dallas, it could be one of the most interesting storylines of the season. Will it be enough to help the Cowboys make that elusive deep playoff run? Only time will tell.